Welcome everybody. You are watching the Patriot Preaches. My name is Ashwantachari. As you can see, I have my green screen. Yeah, it's not perfect, but we have you see the green outline. That's why I need to get lights. So I wanted to make this. I wanted to go live right now because we did officially start the war, as I predicted, as a lot of people did. A lot of anti-war people predicted this. Right, we bombed Fordo. Fordo essentially is where the nuclear facilities are located. So, Trump declared a strike. We went in, we sent the bombs, and we got out. Now it begs the question, what will Iran do? Iran is essentially going to retaliate. Reports say the bunker buster bombs have heavily damaged the nuclear facilities in Fordo. But that is not the case, right? That's not the case. Because what Trump and the Israel Zionist lobby are saying is they are underplaying the infrastructure that Iran has created to deflect these bunker buster bombs, right? And I have a video I was watching with my dad. It was MIT professor. He was talking about how Iran has these triangular shaped roofs which deflect the bunker buster bombs to prevent infrastructure damage, nuclear facility damage, right? And I'm gonna pull up the video so we can watch it real quick. Let me hold up. Let me get it. Let me get it. Dude. Here it is. So this is how it's gonna work, basically.
The bunker.
Let me stream it. It's gonna be pretty close. It's gonna be a pretty short stream. It's late at night, so let me get the thing for you guys. This is gonna be hard because I have the. Is this the media? Okay. We're gonna do this. Okay. So we're gonna do this. This is weird, but whatever.
Busters are going to have a very low rate of success. No question about it.
This is a simulation of what's claimed to be the bunker buster bomb, the GBU-57, which is alleged to be able to go up to 200 feet into the.
Okay, let's make this smaller. I think I'm too big, bruh. Alright, there we go. Let me move this, bruh. No, I think it's Alright, there you go.
Into the ground, even through reinforced concrete, before it will then explode. What you're seeing is a simulation of what's claimed is if, because of the surface of the missile itself, it will be able to burrow deep down inside there and then get into, like it's showing here, some kind of underground facility, and then will explode. That's the claim. Now tell us the reality.
Well, why don't we go to my slides for the moment and let's go to start with slide 16, 16, Gary. This is a photograph of one of these bunker busters. They weigh about 30,000 pounds. Most of their weight is steel. In fact, I think it's about 5,000 or 6,000 pounds of explosives in this 30,000 pound munition. And you need a lot of steel because you want it to have a lot of weight. and you also need to protect the explosives inside it so that they don't get pre-detonated, before the munition penetrates deep enough into the ground. If we go to slide 18, we'll see a diagram of how this munition is allegedly supposed to work. I say allegedly. This is another example of contractors making claims or people who are working for contractors or people who do not understand the details, who are advising higher level political decision makers. This is a real problem I've talked about in the past. You have people who don't know what they're talking about, bringing the information up to people who are political decision makers.
He's talking about, Lindsey Graham, these Zionist, pro-Zionist people who are underplaying the talents of these these Chinese engineers,
Who may or may not care about the details. And the result is you get a big disconnect in what they think they're capable of doing relative to what is actually the case. And it may be that Trump, that 3 p.m. we're going to see some of these munitions dropped on Iran. I don't know if that's true. I'm just guessing. It's a wild guess.
Yeah, that's kind of the implication from what I was told, that this might be our entry into this war. That's what really worries me.
Well,
and it's funny, to your point here, that we have seen Trump in the last 24 hours dismiss the concerns that what Iran might do to us, because he says, no, we're protected, which implies to me just what you just said, that someone's telling him, oh yeah, we got all kinds of good air defense. And by the way, these bunker busters definitely can go 200 feet. But one other thing from this diagram you're talking about here, this also implies that Iran built.
This is essentially to provoke. This is similar to the 1991 Gulf War when the Scud missiles were deployed on Israel, which Benjamin Netanyahu utilized to, push the regime change for the terror wars in 2003, Iraq, 1991 Gulf War, Afghanistan, right? He's pushing all of these wars. And he convinced Trump to, he told Trump, oh, the bunker buster bombs are going to penetrate. They're going to penetrate. They're going to explode the nuclear facilities, where Iran's not going to have a nuclear bomb anymore. They already have it. The centrifuges are there. They had it. That's what they don't want you to think. And I got this from Alex Jones, right? Inside Info. If you watch Alex Jones, he was talking about this, that Iran already has it. And it's not that they're scared of Iran bombing them. It's that they're scared of, if Iran has the bomb and Israel bombs Iran is not going to hold back. They are going to bomb us and Israel. Because who is Israel really a part of? Who does Israel vessel in? Israel is not Israel without the United States of America. So now this gives Iran justification to go all out on the United States. Not all out, but they're going to continue attacking the military bases in the Middle East, in Diego Garcia especially, right? So if they kill American soldiers, this will be a full-fledged, regional, catastrophic, bloody regime change war on behalf of Israel. Right, you see how this is all adding up? So you guys should watch this. My dad actually was watching this, and I got this idea from him. So he put me on this video. So I want to show you guys too.
These bunkers, that they didn't do any creativity, i.e. it's just straight down, so it's a nice little shaft that you can drop it into, as opposed to being offset or maybe multiple angles before where it is. We don't even know for sure under the ground where this thing may end up being. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you're kind of shooting blind anyway.
You've preempted me, and that's good.
No,
Um,
sorry.
you and Gary do it all the time. It's great. Uh, in this diagram, what you see is a depiction of a penetrating warhead that goes 200 feet into the ground, around 60 meters, and then detonates at its maximum depth. Now, the detonation of the 6,000 pounds of explosives uh, can create a cavity of probably around 10 or 15 meters in radius, so maybe 20 or 30 meters in diameter. Now, if there's a tunnel below it that's another 20 meters below it, it could probably punch through the top of the tunnel too. But the tunnel's got to be within 10 or 20 meters of the location of the explosion. In other words, what if the tunnel is offset by 30 meters? We don't know where that tunnel is. We have no idea where the tunnel is. And unless there's a big cave under there where it might penetrate to, or the tunnel or the big cave is very shallow, then you might actually have a situation where you could do quite a bit of damage. But there's not necessarily any reason to believe that the Iranians would design something this way. So
Yeah.
Look who released the footage. IDF. IDF released this footage. So we can assume it's cap, right? I mean, this is what they do. They cap. 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 They cap. Cappers. Certified cappers. Certified cappers. You know what? What was that one joke with the 6 million cookies? I don't want people to take this out of context, but I hope the people who see this don't understand what I'm talking about, or some like the higher ups. 6 million cookies. 6 million. That was a lie. I think. I think it was a lie. Right. I think it was 271. I think the test, I got a 271 on my test, right, out of 300. I got 271 out of 300 on my math test, right? So that's true. If you know what I just said, if you know, you know. Right? IDF cappers, they don't even know if this is actually inside the bunker. They don't even know how it works. So yeah, I'm gonna play the video.
now, just to in the case of the Fordo nuclear facility, let's just take a quick look at slide 19. I know Gary loves this stuff too.
He does.
I do too.
He does.
Notice that the structures that are underground are under hills. In other words, the surface of the ground is not flat and perfectly perpendicular to something that's coming on a perpendicular trajectory. That's good. That's relevant, and we'll see that starting with the next slide. So now this is I chose this article in particular. There are a lot of articles like this, incidentally, because there are a lot of people all over the world who study these things. And I chose this article in particular because there are 5 authors of the article. They're all Chinese. This business of the Chinese somehow, stealing all our technology. And, Lindsey Graham and some of these other people better begin to understand that we're dealing with a highly sophisticated country, Iran among them. And there are highly sophisticated, very well-trained engineers and scientists in these countries. And the countries are utilizing these people for their defense. So this particular um, uh, uh, article here is about deflections that are caused on projectiles that penetrate into what they call composite concrete targets. But let me just, if you go to slide 22, we'll see this is an example of what they call a composite target. In this particular case, the diamond shaped object that you see with a 120-degree angle that's labeled is a long piece of concrete. It's an elongated piece of concrete with a diamond cross section. And if we go to slide 23, the next slide, there you see in the middle of this target that's set up for their test, you see this slab in front of you in the middle of it, and that's got a diamond shape. Now, if you go back to slide 22, the effect of the diamond shape is to cause uh, the um, uh, the
So I have a simplified version, right? This is kind of what my dad was talking about. This is the point. It's like a deflection. Boom, boom. And whatever here, we don't know what's here. It could be nuclear facilities. It could be, health. What is it? Medical facility. We don't know. We don't know. You don't trust IDF. But it's going to go here. What Israel's saying is, oh, it's going to go completely down. But they did not take into account the highly elevated infrastructure that Iran has. So it's not going to go down. It's going to deflect. Right. So this is the reason why it's literally just used as here. Here you go. So this is just used as like a justification. It's like a little surge tags, right? If you play Fortnite competitive, surge tags. It's used to push, right? You get tags, you get okay 30 AR chip damage, right? Boom, 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 and then you push in, where you're getting chip damage. Essentially that's what they're trying to do to get chip damage to justify their push. Right? You tell your IGL, oh, I didn't hit him at all. Is the IGL gonna want you to push? No, the fragger is gonna try to justify it by getting cracks, hitting the enemy a couple times so they're weak. Then they can go and then they'll be convicted to push, conquer. So that's basically what's happening.
penetrating munition to be deflected. Let's go
Mm,
back one more slide to 21.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. The implications are considerable.
Right, and that's basically it. So, let me talk about the whole. Let me put this back. Habibi, what the hell? Habibi's here. Let's go, bro. Yo, what's good, Habibi? Oh my God, Habibi. Habibi David. Yo, shout out Habibi David, bro. Shout out Davis. Shout out Remix David Basili. If you guys don't know Remix, he's a good friend of mine. He's a clothing brand owner, right? And he's a Christian guy. So I support, all of his views. He's a good guy. He's a good dude. Remix. He's a good. He's like a business. He's like a business guy. Very smart in the business realm. So shout out David. Shout out Remix. Shout out Davis. So let's talk about the live updates of the Trump declaration of war. New York Times says Trump claims success after bombing key Iran nuclear sites after hitting Iran's most heavily fortified nuclear installation in Fordo. President Trump warned of more strikes. Quote, if peace does not come quickly, Iranian ballistic missiles wounded at least 10 in Israel, officials said. Really? And you saw what we talked about. The bunker buster bombs did not cause heavy damage. American warplanes and submarines attacked 3 key nuclear sites in Iran early Sunday, bringing the U.S. military directly into Israel's war. So Pacific time, this happened at around 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. And the guy said that he predicted it, I think, like 3 days ago. And prompting fears that the strikes could lead to more dangerous escalations across the Middle East. Note this, Trump said specifically the objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity. He claimed success, saying in a televised address from the White House that the nuclear facilities had been completely and totally obliterated. They have not been obliterated. They have not. And I showed you. And we see it. It is a lie that they are trying to convince you, that they're trying to convince on the public. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. This is some like tier 1 capping. This is something like tier 1 capping. This is tier 1 capping. This is like Ibrahim Mahmoud in 2020 when he would lie every single day. The sites that were attacked include Iran's 2 major uranium enrichment centers. The heavily fortified mountain facility at Fordo, and a larger one plans at Natanz that Israel had struck several days ago with smaller weapons. So let's see what Riram Nuvarim has to say about this. Right? They give let's see. So we have. Yep, this is a false flag. This is the false flag. God. This is bad, man. Apparently, sources are saying the U.S. informed Israel in advance about the attack on Iran, and the mission was coordinated. I mean, I think we know this. They are our closest ally, so it does make sense. They were talking about the GBU 57 bombs. I think 14 tons. So I mean, I don't think yeah, we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. If something interesting happens tomorrow, I will stream. I do want to get the lights. Oh my god, see? Because I have to move the camera back. I have to move the camera back so that when I make hand motions, right, it's going to stay in the screen. So when I go like this, boom, see? Boom. So I want to push the camera back a little more. I'll get lighting so we don't see the green lines. Yep, don't see the green lines. And yeah, I mean, Iran will not specifically attack the U.S. directly. They will attack the bases in the Middle East, right? Bases in Qatar, Diego Garcia, and maybe the proxies will get involved. Maybe the Houthis, Hezbollah, they may get involved, right? Because they are unofficial militia, right? And they have their own agendas. So we might be getting attacked from them. So I say we should evacuate troops. All right, we're in enemy territory. We need to evacuate Americans because if Americans die, it's not going to be good for Iran. U.S. and Israel will team up. They will join forces, and they will take them. They will obliterate Iran. So we need to make sure the Americans do not die. Otherwise, Israel will take advantage of that and force Americans into this war, convincing Donald Trump that Iran has hatred for the U.S. and they have their own agendas. Which in all, right? In total, this stems from regime change convinced by Israel, right? And they're trying to manipulate it. Right, they use manipulation. They use division, manipulation. Right, and I'm talking about this on the show to inform you guys for free, I don't want any money. I don't want money. I don't care about money. I literally just want to restore pride that has been stripped from America, the pride that that everyone used to have. I remember I would sit down in school. I would always stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I would look around. Most of these kids are sitting down. Most of the kids do not have a love for the country. Most of the kids are not grateful, right? And I'm looking at them like, how are you, right? Because like I was taught when I was growing up, I always stood for the Pledge of Allegiance. They would make us sing these American songs, right? To instill pride in us, right? To be proud of our country, right? That's why I'm a nationalist, because I really do love this country. I really do believe we are the greatest country in the world. But we are being dragged down by a foreign entity that is ultimately controlling us. And there's nothing we can really do about it, right? When you have Zionists controlling the government, controlling everything you do, censoring you, it's going to be pretty difficult, but I do have faith. I do have belief, right? That's why I do the show. I do the show for fun. Like, I kind of do the show, like, to improve my public speaking, because I did get, when I went on Charlie Kirk, if you watched the video, I was kind of nervous. Like, I was pretty nervous when I went up, so I was kind of shy. But yeah, I just wanted to probe at him the Israel problem. And I think the YouTube comments got the message, right? They were pretty skeptical of Charlie Kirk and his motives. So that was a good thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Right, and once I get this green screen up and running properly. Yeah. Do you guys like this? I feel like it looks cool. I think it looks cool. I think it looks cool, right? Maybe I could, you know what? Let's make me taller. Let's make me bigger. Well, let's make me bigger, man. There you go. I'm bigger now. But it's covering the capital. So it's like, should I like go to the side? Maybe to the side. Maybe this is fine. So yeah, honestly, we will be back. Right, thank you. If you watch, thank you to Remix. Thank you to David Basili for watching. I know you're not watching right now, but you watched a portion of it, so I'm thankful and appreciative. I hope you learned something. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great rest of your night. And I will see you guys tomorrow or Monday.